Welcome back to studio. Now I know it's Friday night. We like to do it a little bit different for you here on Ebru TV, Prime Time News. And it's a segment that we've been doing for give or take about 4 weeks. And this is by far the most beautiful guest I've ever had on studio. You're like, stupid beautiful. Anyway, as I'm gushing beyond and blushing beyond, I want to introduce you to the super phenomenal, super strong, and amazingly beautiful Yvonne Darcq, one of the most, I think, pivotal musicians that I've ever come across in Kenya. Welcome to studio, Yvonne.
Thank you.
So how have you been? Let's just start there.
I've been quiet, but I've been busy.
I can see clearly.
Yes.
Quiet is a good thing.
Yes,
because if you're making noise, it means you're not doing anything.
Yes.
So,
well, it depends.
How's it been for you? I mean, I think the last time I saw you was at a very controversial place on Langata Road, not naming names, and everyone was not naming names, guys. And we're all having a lot of fun, and for me, this is my first time personally interacting with you, and I just want, like, my viewers, I want you guys to get to know Yvonne as I get to know her first time, and which is why I'm just asking you, like, how have you been?
I've been good. I've just been crazy busy, up and down. I mean, in the past week and a half, I've been twice out of the country.
No way.
I was at the Durban July Derby in South Africa. And of course, I went representing.
Of course.
I went in my whole Kenyan attire.
No
and
way.
I was wearing my clothing line and I put on the Maasai headpiece, and everybody was just shocked. And I had this, I actually followed the clothing line, so I had this leather jacket because it was a black carpet Jack Daniels kind of event, and it was crazy, and everybody was just, first of all, gushed, who is this woman?
No, I mean,
she's not from here.
Like, who's that?
And then what is she wearing? Like, everyone's in ball dresses, and I was like, yo, that's for, you know, awards or those kind of things. I mean, you have to go and stunt and kill it, so that's what I went to do.
And I love that you brought up your clothing line, because I'm looking at you and I'm like, dude, like, I need me one of those. So is this one of the new things that you're embarking on? Yes, actually, I've rebranded myself, and I'm launching my new self on Monday, the 17th of July. And I was invited. Yes, guest list, me, little old me. And I'll not only be showcasing some of my new designs and of course my new image and what I'm presenting as the modern Kenyan, East African woman. Of course. But I'll be launching my new single, performing it, and launching the video. Yes, before we even get into your single, I want to talk about you rebranding. I mean, what prompted that? I mean, like, I had like a paradigm shift of my life recently, and it prompted me to sort of re-emerge as a different person. So I want to know, at what point did Yvonne reach in your life and you're like, you know what, it's time to reboot? Yes. Yeah. Well, basically, I've been on this path for a while, and that's why my new single is called Fearless, because I had a fear of coming out. You know, when you're not really sure of what you want, or rather you know what you want, but people are guiding you left, right, and center, and then you start conflicting with yourself and doubting yourself and just not being really sure. And I tried different things left, right, and center, and I was like, hold on, I'm going to keep going into these circles around and around and around and around as I've been doing for years, and it's never going to stop unless I choose to get rid of my fears and my barriers and break them down and come out as fearless. And that's why my first single that I'm dropping from my soon-to-be album is called Fearless, because I'm coming out from my shell that I placed myself in, because I don't blame anybody. I solely blame myself, but it's not even a blame, it's more of growth. I mean, everything has its own timeline, and I don't regret anything that's ever happened in my life. I thank God every day. You know, you have to thank Him. True. And plus, He's taught me to become this woman that I am, that's this positive, headstrong, workaholic, non-barriered woman, like, who has no fear and says exactly who's ready for the next step, and who has no fear in accomplishing my goals and my career. And I love that you're talking about Fearless, because I saw the teaser, and a lot of what I heard is Siogopi, and I'm like, yes, finally. And
And you know why I first say je n'ai pas peur siogopi, which is I'm just basically saying, I'm singing in 5 different languages. I'm singing in French, English, Kiswahili, of course Kiswahili. I mean, it's our language.
Our language.
Yes. And then I've added Arabic and Lingala.
Wow.
And basically I'm repeating in all of the other 4 languages except English. I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid. And then Kiswahili is the stronger hold because it comes twice. I basically, je n'ai pas peur, siogopi. Je n'ai pas peur, sina machozi. You know when you're afraid, you have those tears in your eyes.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid. I have no tears in my eyes. There is no fear.
I love that. And what I want to know from you is, because I always say one of the biggest issues I have probably with Kenyan society, especially when it comes to women, is there are not many women who support the kind of growth that you're going through. And for me, even when I was talking to your manager, I was like, we're talking about it and I'm like, oh my gosh, I relate to this so much because it's a phase that I've had to go through in like a month. And I live a very unapologetic life. And what I want to know from you is getting into this fearless state of mind and meeting this fearless Yvonne. What's that been like for you? Meeting this other facet of your personality that's super strong, driven. I mean, are you like, ooh, okay.
It's a relief. It's a relief. I mean, it's a struggle every day. There's a battle every day that you'll always face. And those are guidelines that God's put in front of you for you to constantly achieve and succeed. I always tell people failure is not failure unless you accept it's failure.
Amen
for
to
me,
that.
failure is my next achievement because once I learn not to repeat that failure or that mistake, that is more strength than you just giving me gold in my hands. It's more of an achievement for me because I've learned the value of it. So for me coming out, it's a relief. And hey, everybody's got haters. But you know what about haters? They're your biggest admirers.
Are your haters?
Yes. So you know, it's not even hate. It's like an obsession of love. There's a thin line between love and hate. So it's like they have an obsession with you that they wish they were you or doing something that you're doing, and it kind of irritates them because someone who honestly doesn't care about you just doesn't have the airtime. They'll just be like, oh, her, okay, and they won't hate. They'll just be like, oh, cool, cool, whatever.
And that's
you know?
what honestly don't care about you. Anyway, I want to get into your new single.
Yes.
Fearless.
Yes.
I mean, I look at your teaser, and first of all, your standard of production is way beyond the Kenyan scope.
Thank you.
I know a few Kenyan artists, and I keep on telling them, like, guys, out of the box, out of the box.
Yeah.
And I mean, I could easily peg you, when it comes to depth of what you're doing, I could easily peg you with the new Nyashinsky, but you're above him. And I'm not throwing shade, guys. I'm not throwing shade. I mean, we all love Nyashinsky, but you'll see Yvonne's new stuff, and I'm like, finally, someone gets it. And what's it like working towards your new album, the new direction when it comes to your music? And tell us also about your amazing ethnicity. You said you're talking Lingala, you'll be talking French, a bit of Arabic, Kiswahili.
Yes. So basically, again, back to the word fearless, hence why it's the first song to come out, because I've reached this point where I don't care anymore what people have to think or have to say. I'm doing me, and I'm basically an image. I'm like a president to the world.
Yes, you
people
are.
look up to me because that is why, that's what fame comes with. People look up to you. So you have to break that barrier of your fears and come out and say, hey, listen, I need to not lie to you and be somebody that I'm not, but I need to give you who I am, and who I am is this. I mean, I don't have a problem with bloggers or people or the media talking smack, because at the end of the day, guess what? They're just doing their job.
Yes.
And they're also giving me publicity that I didn't ask for.
publicity
But at the end of the day, I did this video. I'm not going to lie, I did it in South Africa. Okay. Wow. The reason why I shot it there is because I did initially shoot Ooh La La Wee Wee in South Africa. I do believe we have a lot to learn, and I'm very proud of our industry. I'm very proud that we're stepping out and we're learning a lot, and I'm also very proud of our videographers. But there is some sort of lack of concentration in some areas, and it's not their fault. That's growth. We all have growth. Right, the way exactly, and the way I've had time and I've grown to where I am. I mean, I started my career professionally 14 years ago. Wow. You know, it's taken me this time to grow into the person I am. And I faced a lot of challenges and battles, but those are the things that made me, you know? And I love our industry, and I also want to represent our industry because, hey, maybe by the time we get onto the quality that we need, just like everybody else, I might be 10 years older, and I'm not hating, but then what then? I can't slow myself down, but I can represent just like Lupita. I mean, she's coming out in the Black Panther movie. I mean, that is the first movie of these whole superheroes, and it's for Africans, it's Black, you know? So that kills the fear, okay? So I step out, I went and shot it, but the reason why I shot it, as people will see, some of the parts of the video are in the wild, is because I'm embracing my Africa. Kenya's tourism is the biggest thing ever. And for me, I love our tourist destinations. I love our tourism, and I'm tired of all this Al-Shabaab nonsense and everybody saying Kenya is a red zone. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to say this, Europe, Britain, whatever, you guys have actually been kind of terrorized a bit more than we have. So for you to red zone us kind of pisses me off. And I'm like, yo, just because we're Black or we just, listen, my image as an artist performing is barefoot. And it's not that because I'm a village or whatever. I've chosen to represent my African self, as y'all say, savage, as a classy modern woman. Okay? And I've come out and I've said, I love my Africa. I love my Kenya. Mi ni Mkenya. Staki hizi ujinga za watu wanasemanga sijui we ni mzungu ama we sijui nini. Mi ni Mkenya, and I'm embracing my Kenya, and our tourism is the most important thing for us. And we really need to pay attention to our animals, which is something else too that I'll be coming out with a ball to be fundraising worldwide very soon, just to embrace and push our Kenya. I mean, we are the cosmopolitan country, and Nairobi is the cosmopolitan city of East Africa. Yes, so why are we fearing to be fearless?
We all need to pull an Yvonne, and I think it's so unfortunate. I wish I had so much more time to talk with you.
It's all right.
And
I'll come back. I'll come back.
You're going to give the outro, but right now on what I want to say is we're seeing the birth of someone who's going to be a pivotal person in the music industry. I mean, she's a lovely lady. I hope you've got to feel her and vibe off her the same way that I have. And keyword, fearless, you know? Let's be savage. Let's do it. And Yvonne, so you're going to give the outro, this camera. You're going to wrap up the news for us tonight.
Okay. So my word and my say to every Kenyan, every East African, and every African out there, be fearless, whether you're a man or a woman. I stand for both sexes. I am empowering myself and yourselves to be fearless. Do not let anybody get in your way or try to obstruct you from achieving your goals.
Good night, guys.